What's going on with the housing market? Well, inflation is not helping. Years of loose monetary policies made it worse. The bearish sentiment with Fed hawks result in a market that can be described as low inventory, price surge, high interest rate, and low affordability. According to Realtor.com, as of December 2023, there were 714,176 active listings for homes nationwide, a 4.9% increase from a year earlier, but still far below the pre-pandemic levels of over a million active listings in December 2019. Housing inventory levels nationwide are still around 50 to 60% of what they were prior to the pandemic, according to the housing analyst John Hung. The shortage of homes for sale is exacerbated by homeowners' reluctance to sell due to historically low mortgage rates. Goldman Sachs reported that 99% of homeowners have a mortgage rate below the current market rate, with 63% between 2.5% and 4%, making it financially unwise for many to sell. Home builders, however, have ramped up construction to address the housing inventory shortage, increasing home sales upward of 66,000 on an annualized basis, despite the overall market downturn. As a consequence, new constructions now make up a third of the total market inventory, a significant increase from past years. However, the builder sale market accounts for only 15% of the housing market, with the rest being existing or resale homes, which have seen a smaller price decline of 7%. We are building new homes, just way too few, far too slow. This adds to the bottom line of inventory, but not enough to make a significant dent to pass on the benefits to the mass public. The other big factor that affects inventory is demand. I'm going to talk about it from two angles: interest rate and economic conditions. Now, let's talk about the interest rate. According to Freddie Mac's primary mortgage market survey, mortgage rates have hovered around 6.8% for the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage since the start of 2024. Freddie Mac notes that while inflation appears to be slowing, they do not expect rates will decrease meaningfully in the near term. There are expectations for the 30-year fixed mortgage rate to remain in the range of 7% short-term. Market anticipation of Federal Reserve actions influences rates, and recent developments suggest rates might not decrease soon. The elevated mortgage rates around 6.8% are continuing to dampen housing demand by making home ownership less affordable for many buyers. Higher mortgage rates have dampened housing supply as existing homeowners are reluctant to give up their low locked-in rates. Like I mentioned before, 99% of the homeowners have a mortgage rate below the current market rate, with 2/3 being under 4%, making it financially unwise for many to sell. So while current mortgage rates around 6.8% remain elevated from a historical perspective, they have stabilized after 2022's rapid increases. This stability, combined with growing inventory, could allow some demand to return in 2024 compared to 2023's depressed levels, though affordability will remain very challenging for many buyers. Mortgage interest rates have risen. This reduces consumers' purchasing power, contributing to the decreased affordability of homes. This can be seen by mortgage purchase applications, which are down 16% year over year. Wage growth also has not kept pace with housing price appreciation, making homes less affordable. Home prices in the US have risen 49% over the last 10 years, while wages have grown at a slower rate. In Indiana, for example, the situation is more severe. Home prices rose 90% over the last decade, far outpacing wage growth in the state. In 22 US states and Washington, D.C., buyers need a six-figure household income to afford a medium-price home due to the affordability gap between home prices and incomes. Before we move on, I just want to say that the solution to the housing affordability crisis is complicated by factors like zoning laws, NIMBYism, and the high cost of land, which hinder new construction and exacerbate the scarcity of affordable housing options. So it will be a while before we can figure out the affordability piece. What about the current market conditions? What's their role in impacting the housing demand? Well, the current economic conditions suggest moderating demand for housing due to slowing job market momentum and steady but subdued consumer confidence levels. Payroll growth is slowing, indicating a cooling job market. Unemployment rate is expected to rise to the mid 4% area by the end of 2024 from the current low levels. Quit rates and demand for temporary workers are declining, signaling easing labor market tightness. Wage growth is decelerating as the labor market softens. A softer job market with rising unemployment and slower wage growth could dampen housing demand as potential buyers face income constraints. Consumer sentiment measured by the University of Michigan has moved little in early 2024 after rising late 2023. There's a split between positive economic data like GDP, jobs, and how consumers actually feel about the economy. The administration notes that consumer attitudes toward the economy remain steady, but are becoming a less reliable leading indicator. While consumer confidence is holding relatively steady, the disconnect from economic data and its diminished predictive power suggests a temporary impact on housing demand from this factor. In summary, the cooling job market is a headwind for housing demand, while steady but unreliable consumer confidence provides little boost. Overall, the economic conditions point to a moderating housing demand in 2024. So as bad as the market is right now, are we expecting the 2008 type of crash? The answer is no. The 2007-2008 financial crisis and subsequent market crash were primarily caused by the subprime mortgage crisis, in that banks have engaged in widespread predatory lending practices by giving high-risk subprime mortgages to borrowers with poor credit and insufficient income to afford the loans. Moreover, lenders relaxed their lending standards and approved risky, adjustable rate mortgages that became unaffordable when interest rates reset higher. After the 2008 crash, lenders have stricter lending criteria. They assess borrowers based on down payment, credit score, and income stability, often disqualifying those with non-traditional or fluctuating incomes. So to wait for a 2008 kind of crash and buy is not likely to happen. Even if a crash like 2008 scale were to happen, most people wouldn't be able to benefit from the crash. Why? Well, crash means high unemployment. Job loss and income reduction will keep buying a home last on people's mind. It will not solve the underlying financial ineligibilities. For two, historical precedent shows only a 20% price drop in the worst collapse. Is that discount low enough for people to purchase? I'm not so sure. Again, unless Fed starts to print money and loosen monetary policies, where is the money going to come from? Lastly, lenders' criteria, which are highly risk averse right now, would likely become even stricter. This will make purchasing real estate harder for most people. So you will probably most likely be in the back of the line. It's the wealthy investors and institutions who are best positioned to capitalize during a crash, as seen post 2008, when they were able to acquire properties cheaply and profit from increasing rents. So what should you do in this market? Wait for it to drop? Forget it. If you're a buyer, bite that bullet. If you're the seller, you're still in control. And if you're an investor, you can play either side. Just make sure that you buy low enough to win big. If you like what you hear, make sure you share and like. It will help YouTube algorithm to deliver more similar content to you and others who may benefit. Please do subscribe so that you stay on top of our new video releases and information that you like. Till next time.